अस्सलाम वालेकुम गाइस, मेरा नाम मोहम्मद अम्मार है और यहाँ कॉलेज ज्वाइन करने के बाद मेरा नाम मोहम्मद अम्मार फ्रीलांसिंग वाला हो गया। और आज हम अपने न्यू टॉपिक पे बात करने वाले हैं, टॉक विद चैटजीपीटी, द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ एम्पैथी इन लीडरशिप एंड टीम वर्क। तो अपने टास्क की तरफ चलते हैं हम लोग। Hi ChatGPT, is been thinking about leadership lately. Everyone talks about being a good leader, but I wonder how important is empathy in leaderships.
That's a really great point. Empathy is super important because it helps leaders really connect with their team. When people feel heard and understood, they're more motivated, engaged, and they trust their leader more. So, empathy is kind of a foundation for strong, effective leadership.
So that makes sense. So it's not just about being nice to people right now.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not just about being warm or calm, even their motivations. When you get that, you can guide them better and create a space where everyone feels valued.
Okay. So my next question
Yeah,
is
and
noticed that in some workplaces, teams where the leader listens and understands seem happier and more productive.
That's a really interesting observation. Yeah, sometimes when a leader is really tuned in, people feel safe to express themselves, but also pushed to grow. So that balance of empathy plus challenge can create this awesome momentum where the team feels both cared for and driven.
Okay, so would you say empathy improves teamwork too?
Yeah, so one way is through really active listening, asking open ended questions, giving people space to share their thoughts, and really acknowledging their perspectives. Also, being transparent about decisions and showing that you care about their personal growth. Over time, that builds trust, and the team kind of rallies around that sense of belonging.
Such as if that's true. I remember in one project, two turned members kept clashing when we all took time to listen to each other points of view. The project went smoothly.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect example. Once everyone felt heard and valued, you could see the collaboration just take off. So, yeah, that kind of environment really does make a huge difference in how smoothly things run.
So interesting, but how can a leader develop empathy? I mean, some people are naturally empathetic, but others not so much.
Yeah, that's really true. Some people have a natural inclination toward empathy, but it's definitely a skill that can be developed, like with practice, being more curious, being mindful of others' emotions. Over time, it really can become second nature.
So that sounds double, though it might take practice.
Exactly. And it's kind of a lifelong journey, right? You don't have to be perfect right away. Just being intentional, checking in with yourself, practicing those listening skills will get you a long way.
So how does empathy affect decision making?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So, when leaders bring empathy into decision making, they're more likely to consider how choices affect people, not just results. It helps them avoid blind spots, reduce harm, and actually build better long term outcomes because they're balancing both the human and the business side.
So that's important. I guess empathy also helps in motivating terms during tough tough times.
Absolutely. I think when times get tough, empathy paired with encouragement is key. So, even when you're making difficult decisions, if you acknowledge the stress and express confidence in your team, that can really keep morale up and help everyone push through.
So empathy is like the glue that holds leadership and teamwork together.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. It's like the glue that keeps trust strong and ensures everyone feels like they're in it together. So when empathy is present, leadership just has this human centered foundation that drives real connection and impact.
So are there any downsides to empathy in leadership?
Yeah, that's a good thing to consider. I mean, if a leader leans too heavily on empathy without balancing it with boundaries or clear decisions, it could lead to burnout or indecision or even people taking advantage. So it's about balance, empathy plus a clear sense of direction.
Got it. So empathy plus clear communication and fairness equals effective leadership.
Exactly. It's like you need both sides of the coin. Empathy builds connection, but clear communication and fairness ensure everyone knows what's expected. When you combine them, that's when leadership really thrives.
Okay, thanks, Azruddin. This really helped me see that leadership isn't just about skills or knowledge, but also about emotional intelligence.
I'm really glad it helped. Yeah, exactly. Leadership is so much about that emotional side, balancing the human experience with strategic thinking. If you ever want to dig deeper, I'm here for it.
I will feel inspired to apply this in my group projects and personal life.
That's awesome. I think you're going to do great. Just keep that balance in mind, and I'm sure your group will really respond to it. If you ever run into a tricky situation, we can talk it through.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks again for the chat. I think I could spend even more time talking about this.
Of course. I'm really glad you found it helpful. Whenever you want to dive deeper or just talk through other leadership topics, I'm here. Good luck with everything.
ChatGPT, I want to understand more about empathy in leadership. Can you give me some real life examples?
Absolutely. So, one example is a leader at a tech company who regularly checks in with their team, not just about deadlines, but about how they're feeling. By recognizing stress or challenges early, they help redistribute tasks or offer support so people don't burn out. Another example might be a teacher who really listens to students, adjusts their teaching style, and creates a more inclusive environment. So, it plays out in all sorts of real world settings.
So empathy is about noticing small things too, not just the big problems.
Exactly. Yeah, it's those little gestures, paying attention when someone seems off or celebrating small wins that build trust and show you care. And over time, that's what really creates a strong, connected team culture.
How does empathy affect team collaboration?
Ooh, great question. So, when leaders show empathy, it actually makes team members feel safer to share ideas, even tough or unconventional ones. It reduces fear of judgment, so people collaborate more openly, leading to more creative solutions and a sense of trust in the group.
That's interesting. I've noticed some teams just argue a lot without resolving anything. I guess empathy could fi- fix that.
Yeah, that's a really common challenge. Empathy helps because it lets everyone feel heard, but then you also need structure. So a leader can step in to guide the discussion, refocus on goals, and help the team find common ground, basically balancing that emotional connection with practical facilitation.
So can empathy help in motivating our team?
Absolutely. When a leader acknowledges people's efforts, understands their struggles, and encourages them by connecting their work to a bigger purpose, it really boosts morale. So empathy helps people feel valued, and that sparks motivation to keep going even when things get tough.
So I see. What about challenges? Can empathy ever backfire?
Yeah, it definitely can if it's overdone or misapplied. For instance, if a leader's too empathetic and avoids tough decisions to keep someone happy, that can lead to confusion or poor outcomes. So the key is staying balanced. Use empathy, but also stay anchored in the bigger picture and clear decision making.
How can a leader balance empathy and accountability?
Great question. A leader can balance them by setting clear expectations so everyone knows their responsibilities, and then pairing that with regular check ins. They can show care by asking how team members are doing, but also by holding everyone accountable, offering support, but also addressing missed goals or behavior issues constructively.
So empathy doesn't mean ignoring mistakes.
Exactly. It's actually the opposite. Empathy gives you a way to have those tough conversations with care. You can acknowledge the mistake, show you understand, and then collaborate on how to improve. So people feel supported, but also know what needs to change.
So thanks empathy. I feel like I could practice this every day now. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz guys.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad it was helpful. Best of luck applying it all, and take care. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.